Well, I am an admirer of Elisa's. Elisa has even worked for me, and the fact is that she is talented.
What's it called? Kermit and Friends?
Kermit and Friends.
Kermit. But if
Kermit,
you're saying
like
not to do,
Yeah,
wait.
I actually have watched a few hours of Kermit and Friends.
How many hours have you watched, Natalie?
Oh, no. Probably indulged in 8 hours.
Holy.
my wife and I watched Benji's ex-girlfriends or whatever's going on. We watched this crazy podcast, and I have to say, this is one of the probably in the top 5 things I think about right now.
She has a podcast, but she gets to come on the radio. It is craziness upon craziness.
Hey everybody, welcome to Kermit and Friends. I am Elisa. This is Fozzie, and Kermit is watching from heaven. I am so excited for the show today. I had a late night last night. I'm officially a comedian, a professional stand-up comedian. I did my first comedy show last night. We have some of the comedians from that show here today, as well as a musical guest named Tyler Hutton, who'll be performing and talking to us. So it's going to be a great show. Everybody head over to the Elisa Jordana YouTube channel so you can get in the chat there. Yeah, I'm just super excited for the show today because I was so nervous about last night. My Kermitarian of the week is going to be my neighbor Brandon, who gave me this bottle of tequila before my first stand-up comedy, premiere that was last night. Brandon brought this over. We drank the whole thing together. So, I went on a couple job interviews recently. As you know, I was in sales and financial sales, I guess, or whatever. So, I did well at that, but I thought, maybe I should get into different kind of sales. Maybe I should do something different. So I went to a couple job interviews last week, one for like a mortgage company, and then one as a spa director of the nicest hotel in Beverly Hills. And they actually wanted to put me in the basement and pay me minimum wage. Okay. So that was like no good at all. I was so upset. I almost fell off my chair when they said that. And I was just disgusted by the whole interview process. But last night I made $100 an hour for telling jokes for my first time. Okay. Think about that. And I got drunk. So what sounds better to you? Selling mortgages at minimum wage plus maybe commission, or being drunk? So selling mortgages or being drunk, which sounds better? I think being drunk sounds a lot better. And I actually talked them down. They were going to pay me $300 an hour, but stupid me, I actually talked them down. I said, I'm not a stand-up comedian. I can't promise that I'm going to be funny. I probably won't be funny. You should pay me less. That's what I said. I said, pay me less. I begged them to pay me less. And what kind of idiot would do that? I have no idea, but I did it. So they did pay me less. But then when I absolutely killed it and destroyed it and was like the best comedian in the world, I was so upset. I said I should have asked for more. And that's what Andy would do. Andy would ask for more. If Andy was booked for something and he didn't even have one joke prepared, he'd always ask for more money. And that's what I'm going to do from now on, Sugar. Sugar, can you believe I asked for less money? Less.
That was actually a good idea because it took the pressure off of you.
No, I felt tremendous pressure, Sugar, obviously.
Yeah, but you would have. Okay, and that's another thing. No more drinking.
What do you mean? It's great.
No, that stops. I promise you, alcohol will turn you into a ragged looking. Alcohol is not your friend. Alcohol, especially with women, will destroy your skin. You will look terrible. I'm telling you, I've seen girls get into drinking and I've seen what it does to them. Stop it.
No, but Sugar, I have a witness, actually.
Okay.
I have a witness here today that will tell everyone how well my drinking went. And I am a big fan of stand-up comedy. I can't believe I got paid for the, Sugar.
I can't wait to see it. When is it going to be posted?
So myself, along with Doug Stanhope and along with Greg Fitzsimmons and a bunch
That's amazing.
Yeah, all these famous comedians are at this website. It's called Best of Stand-Up SF, like San Francisco, .com. So best of SF standup.com, I think. And it's so amazing because, you know, I looked at their website before I did this show. Actually, I don't even think they meant to book me. I think they meant to book Andy. Okay. Because at first they were talking to me about Andy. And I think Andy might have told them that he didn't have a computer or internet access or something. So just by default, I got this gig. They did not go after me. I really think they meant to book Andy.
Obviously, they were looking for Stern Show satellite people. You were on the list.
Yeah, no, I'm on the list. No, I exist. I'm on the list. But so I think what they were trying to do is book Andy. And then, you know, Andy was actually busy last night. I have a clip of where he was last night and he never reappeared after that. And I'm actually going to ask Jesse about this because he was with a pimp last night on a podcast with a pimp. The pimp's name, he's the most famous pimp actually in the world. I think his name's, yeah. So this is a friend. G Ryder, who should be Kermitarian of the Week as well. G Ryder is a friend of Bishop Magic Don Juan.
Don Juan.
Okay.
He's the biggest pimp in the whole United States, from Chicago. A good friend of mine for 15 years. And Andy was in the Old School with them, the movie. So they went and did their thing yesterday, but I'm not gonna represent myself as part of everyone going down and arguing to be on mic on their podcast. I'll hit up Bishop later on. He's also a friend of Flash and everybody. So yeah, I'll hit him up. I didn't have to rush for his podcast last minute. So he's a cool dude though. So,
no, but when I saw the podcast, Jesse, I was getting so excited. I wanted to be on that podcast so badly.
I'll hook you up. We can go down to the studio sometime.
Really? Okay. So when I Googled the studio, it was in Compton. Is that right?
No, it's over. No, it's over by Little Ethiopia, Pico and Fairfax. We'll call him later when we have lunch. Give him a call on the phone.
Okay, so you didn't see this, but I actually saw it. I saw it.
I'll just call him on the phone if I need to. You know?
So the great thing about having a famous boyfriend and a famous fiance is you can actually watch what he's doing. You go watch it.
That tab's on him, right?
Yeah. So you just Google. So if you're watching this and you have a famous girlfriend or a famous boyfriend or a famous fiance or whatever you have, what you do is you Google that person. So Andy Dick, you type in Andy Dick, and then
I know how to do it.
But then the last hour. So then you type. Oh, you knew that?
The news has it on tabs. You can see if they're alive or dead or
Yeah. So
anything.
That's right. So all you have to wait. Kermit and Friends.
Hey, Lisa.
What's up?
I wanted to tell you were great last night on the show.
Thank you.
Don't undersell yourself again for $100 an hour when they offer you $300. Okay, you're better than Andy Dick ever could be. Okay, I had a blast last night with you on that show, and I really enjoyed it. And you're an awesome fucking drunk. I just want to say that you're an awesome fucking drunk.
Thank you.
And one thing you did mention last night, which is maybe the case with you, but regarding me, right? All my female fans from the Kermit and Friends fan base,
yes,
they actually do love my dick pics, by the way. So it's like, so I don't know where you get the idea that you should never send a dick pic to a chick, but it's like, but because I'm hung like a beer can, I had it done on my reality show, which is now going on Apple TVs, on HiFlix. So, I got the confirmation that we're ready to go. I'm just waiting on the signed contract, and that's it. And we're going to launch come July, either July or August.
All right, Barry. Congratulations, buddy. I gotta go, Barry. Congratulations. Okay,
No worries.
so Barry believes in dick pics. That's something I do not believe in. I strongly suggest never send that. Right, Jesse? Never.
Only if you have a panoramic view, I can take one.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
Wow.
we have my best friend on the line too from Tennessee, and
Okay.
come on and say hi. He'll tell some secrets about me. Even I might not want to say.
Okay, that sounds great, Jesse. Just stand by. I want to bring up our. Actually, let me bring up this comedian from last night. He was a really. Oh, here, hold on 1 second. Kermit and Friends. How can I help you?
Come on, you believe in dick pics? How many pictures you take with Andy Dick? Come on, don't lie.
Sheppy, I would say if I wanted a dick pic. If I wanted a dick pic, trust me, I would tell people.
No, you have dick pics all over your social media. Andy Dick pics. So you like dick pics. You love. Dick
I like
pics.
Andy Dick. Okay, I do like him. You're right.
So you like dick pics.
Yeah, I like pictures of Andy Dick, but not.
This nonsense about you becoming. So you're gonna sell tickets on the road now. You're gonna go on the road, a comedian, get a road hearted.
Listen, Shep, I got to be honest with you. I like the pay better as a comedian than as a mortgage broker. I got to talk to Victor about this. Victor's an actual, thank you for your call. Victor's an actual comedian. Victor was on the show with me last night, Best of San Francisco Comedy. He was great. Victor, do you agree that being drunk works as a comedian?
It works, but I don't think it's a long-term idea for success. No? Hello? Yeah. I mean, you did great. I couldn't tell you were drunk at all. Maybe you're a functioning addict, and that's good.
No, I just started last night. I just started my comedy career and my drunk career last night.
Oh, well, don't keep drinking because then you're going to have to rely on alcohol every time. Dude, you killed it doing jokes. And then the Q&A, you fielded some of the most like sexually aggressive questions that weren't even questions. We almost kicked that guy off the stream. When we were having a meeting while the Q&A was happening, like, hey, should we kick this guy off? I'm about to kick this guy off. Let's see where he's going. I thought he was a stalker, but I guess he follows you. And but no, you did a great job. It was awesome. Like I was really proud of you to see. Like that was really your first time doing stand-up.
It was. I mean, I took a class before. From Joe Matarese, the comedian. And that was great. That was a great experience. That was years ago. And then I wrote jokes for like Howard Stern to say on air, but I never, did a real stand-up comedy gig. And I really feel like I was booked by mistake. I think they really did mean to book Andy, but Andy is hard to rein in. I'm easy to rein in. I have free time. I can do this. And I think this is like the best job I've seen as far as jobs go.
Okay, because like last night was a unique experience in that it was on Zoom. When you actually like have to go down to the Hollywood Improv, find parking, like, say what's up to the manager or the person who's in charge of putting the comics up that night. And, you being on the Stern show, you're famous. So you have a credit that matters. It's like, oh, yeah, Elisa Jordana from the Howard Stern show, or her from the Howard Stern show. Give it up for Elisa Jordana. And so everyone will you could get gigs really easily. And honestly, if you get Andy on board, you could do a comedy show anywhere. You could do it in a pizzeria, you could do it at a pub, you could do it at a theater, you could do it anywhere.
Well, I was thinking because Andy actually performs every night, or not every night, every Saturday night at somebody's house or something. What is this? Jesse, what's the thing that Andy performs at every Saturday?
It's our friends like comedy improv thing at like this little secret comedy show thing they do, but I don't know if they're doing that anymore right now. I think since everything's opening up, they kind of canceled those. But The Comedy Store is back open now, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, but I mean, like a lot, like our Zoom show is still going, and like everything's opening back up again. Like Cobb's is opening up, San Jose Improv's opening up in the Bay Area. So, and people just abandoned their Zoom shows. We didn't abandon it. We had a pretty good Zoom show last night. We're gonna have one with Greg Fitzsimmons next week. And but what I was saying though, if you could get up at that somebody's backyard, that's great. That's even harder than a comedy club. If you could do somebody's backyard, you could do a comedy club, no problem. It's just like these loud, rowdy bars where no one gives a shit about comedy. You're not going to do that. You're going to pass all these steps because you've been on the Stern Show and you're funny. You're actually funny.
Thank you, Victor. Victor, we did have a disagreement about something towards the end, and I just wanted to bring that up.
I didn't even want to bring it up because I was like, I don't know how crude you want this to get. But you made my night, and then you hurt my feelings, all in a matter of an hour. It was tremendously. It was a roller coaster of emotions. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but I think we are.
I believe we are. So what happened was, I don't even know how this came up. Did you bring it up, or did I bring it up?
I brought it up during my set, and you made a callback. You referred back to me talking about that how chicks should suck fat guys' dicks. And like this is what you're talking about, right? I hope I didn't open a can of worms that were not relevant. But I was talking during my set, like all you hot chicks should tell all your friends, hey, suck a fat guy's dick. You're gonna prevent a suicide. You're gonna make his life. Just fucking do it. And then you go out there, you're like, yeah, ladies, suck a fat guy's dick. I've done it. I've sucked a fat guy's cock. And then I interrupted you. I just started clapping. I'm like, God bless you. You're a saint. You're doing the Lord's work. I love you. I don't even know you. I became a fan immediately. And
right. So that's a good way to get compliments and make fans, right? So, any hot guy, an in-shape guy, one of these guys that goes to the gym, like a Brad Pitt lookalike. I mean, they get women, no problem. But if you're with a heavier guy, right? If you're with like an unattractive, heavier guy, you get so much praise. It's unbelievable. So women out there, if you want praise, if you want fans, if you want to be loved in this world, date a fat guy. That's what you do. Okay. Dating skinny guys, you get nothing out of that. People don't appreciate it. You will not get compliments. You will not get praise. You will not get fans. Date a fat guy and people will be like, wow, she's really deep. I just want people to think I'm deep and that I have a lot of substance. And when you're dating a fat guy, everybody thinks you have substance. All of a sudden, you're very substantial and you're very smart. They think you're smarter. Wow, there must be more to her than what I see. There must be so much more to her than what I see. She's dating this fat guy. Maybe they have intellectual conversations. They're developing things. They're scientists and they're thinking about you in a higher regard than if you just date an athlete. And that's why I believe in your movement, Victor. I'm right there with you. When you said it, it really struck me and it stood out. And I'm just right there with you, and I just appreciate you. And did you get any phone numbers? After my set, did anybody call you?
Nobody called me. Nobody offered to suck my dick. And it's just something that needs to be said. I need you to be the Joel Osteen of sucking fat guys' dicks. Joel Osteen doesn't believe in God, but he preaches the word of God. And you don't suck fat guys' dicks. But I want you to preach the word of sucking fat guys' dicks.
I will. I promise you. I will be that person. Just get me booked at more comedy shows so that way I could spread the word. See, I just need a platform. Speaking of platform, I'm about to give Tyler Hutton, the musician. This is a great musician. He's on Kermit and Friends. Hi, Tyler. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you here. Yeah, you're great. So we connected, I believe. How do we connect?
I guess I know Andy from years back.
Oh, another Andy connection. See, this Andy guy is coming through. See, people thought that nothing would happen from Andy. Oh, it's a sham. It's not real. But look, I got Tyler Hutton. Okay, so you know Andy. Do you know him well? Are you guys friends? Does he know you?
I played in his band for a while, and we were roommates probably like 2013 to 2014, maybe.
Okay.
On and off played in his band whenever he got that together.
Hi.
Hey.
So this is another roommate of Andy. So I'm
yeah,
meeting
me and
all
Andy have this little place in Hollywood right now. A bunch of I don't know, minions that filter in and out.
I know how that goes.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about your musical career. You used to play with Andy. Now what do you have going on?
I just moved to Nashville last December. I was in LA, obviously, before that. But just been in and out of bands. I'm forming a new band here and working with a songwriting partner. So just trying to hustle here.
Okay, great. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing your music. Do you have anything prepared for us today?
Yeah. I can play some originals or some covers. It's really whatever.
Perfect. Just play your favorite song, and then can you do like 2 or 3 songs this show?
Sure.
Beautiful. Okay, just play your first one. Everybody, give a warm welcome to Tyler Hutton.
Thank you. Okay. Someday soon you may be alone. Don't come crying in to me. I've done all I can, you see. But despite all I've done, it was not meant to be. You're a girl who meant all the world to the man I used to be. Try not to take it personally. After all I've changed, well, you remain the same. Someday soon you may be alone, but I'll often think of you. Though we've grown apart, we were friends from the start. Someday soon, by the light of the moon, you might look high and low for me. I'll be down the road, you see, and you won't hear a sound but my song on the breeze. Someday soon you may be alone, but I'll often think of you. Though we've grown apart, we were friends from the start. Though we've grown apart, we were friends from the start. Wow, thank you.
Wow, you are amazing. Oh my gosh, you are so talented, Tyler. I knew I'd get something out of Andy. I knew it. Okay, so as far as, your musical career now, what has been the highlight for you? Is it this show?
Absolutely.
But besides this, anything else, that's been exciting?
A lot. It's, I guess, making a record is like my favorite thing I've done so far. I've made 2, but I got to work with a really talented producer in Los Angeles named Joel Jerome, and I was a big fan of his. So I guess that's a career highlight. And playing a lot of the shows I played with Andy were highlights just because they were fun.
Really. So what was it like playing with Andy? He has so many fans everywhere that he goes. People are so excited to see him. And, when you're playing in a band with him, that must be really fun, a fun part of it. Am I right about that?
It was just a party for I don't know, it was a whole summer. We were playing at the Pig and Whistle. It was a residency. And had a lot of famous people come in to see it. And he had a whole thing worked out with his
Do you know Paul Henderson?
Who is that? I don't know. I don't.
He used to be on Andy's radio show with him, but he's like a collaborator, but really funny guy. And I don't want to give anything away just in case Andy ever does the show again, but
he won't.
Okay. Then he
Trust me.
people in the audience, and it was a whole thing. And I thought it really kind of blew me away. How
really
it was, yeah.
Well, speaking of blowing you away, I'm going to play you this clip of Andy from last night. This is unbelievable, right? So Bishop Don Magic Juan, who's a friend of Jesse, who I do want to go on this podcast. I really do. I want to go with Jesse, me and Jesse. I want to go on this podcast, but first I have to get a COVID shot, okay? Because I wasn't going to get a COVID shot, but then once I saw this podcast and how many people were there, nobody's wearing a mask at all. It kind of looks like, a COVID podcast kind of, because it's just so filled with people. But when I get my shot, I will go on this podcast. Let me just pull up the clip. Here it is.
We got it going on.
That was a lot of blunts ago. You got to give us a break. That was a lot of blunts. That was a lot of joints, a lot of weed ago.
But then I told you,
I
actually
forgot
to. Somebody reminded me. But I remember so much of finding out, Andy. So tell me, what's been going on in your life?
I have a podcast with my fiance, who weirdly couldn't show up today. But she's watching. On my way here, she was watching you guys, because I know I was a little late. Sorry about that. They said you can be
Well,
there if
we
you
want to
want.
thank you for letting Andy come on.
Yay!
Thank you.
What's the name of your podcast?
It's hers, my fiance, called Kermit and Friends.
Oh,
Have you heard of that one? And what? Oh, really? She fucking loves what's going on here. On my way here, she's like, it's phenomenal. She says it's phenomenal. You gotta get the fuck over there. It's hysterical. And I'm like, well, they said they weren't gonna start till I got there. I was kind of mad.
So I thought, I wasn't going to get the COVID shot. I was thinking about just getting the COVID pin without getting the shot. They have this pin that you can wear that says, I got vaccinated, and you could just wear the pin and then people just think you're vaccinated. So I was going to get that. Yeah, exactly. I was going to get that. But then after seeing that podcast and thinking I could be on that podcast, I'm a little bit more likely to get just the vaccine, because I just feel like a place like that where people are just packed in. I haven't been in anywhere like that in like a year. So I thought maybe I should get the vaccine. Have you gotten your vaccine yet, Tyler?
I was like you. I kind of didn't know how I felt about it and wasn't really planning on getting it. And then me and my girlfriend started traveling a little more. And I was just kind of thinking, I'm always so anxious about being around people. Maybe just get it anyway. So yeah, we both just got jabbed. And
oh, okay. So you ended up getting, so that's going to happen to me too, because I was so anxious. Everybody was making me crazy and just so nervous. And I felt all the symptoms, and I know it was in my own head, that I actually went to the hospital. I think I might've told you guys about that. And the worst part about that is I thought when I have insurance. So I thought when I went to the emergency room that it would be free. Okay. I thought it would be free. So I was just like, okay, yeah, do whatever you want. So they gave me an EKG. They gave me multiple blood tests. They put me in different rooms with different doctors. And I realized none of this is free. It was $2,000. And they didn't warn me at all about that. They were just piling thing after thing after thing after thing. I mean, if I knew it was $2,000, I'd be like, my life hasn't been that good anyway. I'll just leave. Just give me a shovel on my way out. I mean, is it really worth it to pay $2,000 to live nowadays? I mean, is life really that fun? I mean, not for me. Let's just welcome to the show, Dave Robinson. He has a couple questions for me. Hey, Dave.
Hi. Thank you. It's nice to see you.
Great to see you.
I was just a bit upset that you just said his life not worth $2,000. Well, I hope yours is.
I mean, if I had to pay that, if I knew it was going to cost that much to go to the hospital, I definitely wouldn't have gone. It just felt like they were putting me with doctor after doctor after doctor, and I could have kept going. I was declining things. They brought in a huge robot to do who knows what to me. And I said, no, that looks expensive. Take that away. I don't need that. I'm fine. Listen, just let me go. I've done enough. I've been on Howard Stern. I was in a signed band. I have Kermit and Friends. Nothing else is going to happen for me. You know, I feel like I've really done it all. And I mean, if I'm just living just to be a mortgage banker, just let me go.
But you say that, but then you did stand up for the first time yesterday and you killed. You're amazing.
Exactly. I wasn't.
So you say that there's nothing more for you, and then all of a sudden you're doing this whole new difficult thing and you're good at it.
Yeah.
So who knows? So had people been making you nervous about having the COVID vaccine?
Yeah, everybody's crazy. I can't even go to my dog park anymore. Every time I go to the dog park, they're like, did you get the vaccine? Did you get the second one? Did you get the first one? And it's like, just back off. None of your business. That's why I had that idea to just get the pin, just so people will leave me alone. When people are pressuring me, it makes me not want to get it. It doesn't make me want it. It makes me not want it and think it's some kind of cult. But if people would just lay off so I could just think a little bit and not be so anxious about it, I probably would get it. I mean, especially if I'm about to go in the comedy circuit. I mean, if anybody would have COVID, it'd be comedians, right? So
yeah.
I feel like if I'm going to get into the comedy world, I should get the vaccine.
I had my first one a couple of weeks ago. And I barely felt anything, like there were no side effects or consequences. But you are right there. There's a strange kind of, everyone's talking about it. Like there is a funny kind of pressure to having it or not. But like, the one thing that's nice about having it is that I did feel like, well, nothing bad's going to happen now. Because I'd rather not have coronavirus than have it.
No, but Dave, I'm going to restaurants and I'm looking because, it's opening now. I'm looking around. People don't seem to be having that much fun. And the only conversation that people care about is about the vaccine and COVID. So, for the world to be open, I think I prefer it closed. It was better then. I mean, it's better when it's closed. I could be a comedian on Zoom, making hundreds of dollars an hour. If the world was open, I'd be making a lot less and working a lot harder. I used to work from 7 to 7, extremely hard. And getting sick. I mean, I was sick. People used to say I was green. I would be turning green. I'd be working so hard. I don't want that. I think I prefer it closed. I prefer doing comedy on Zoom. I'm a great comedian. I'm the best of. They had a show that was called Best of San Francisco, and I was the best. I was the best of. So if COVID makes me the best of, then I like COVID.
I know what you mean. And also people have forgot how to be fun as well during coronavirus, because people have been locked up by themselves for ages and no one's enjoyed themselves at all. It's been a hell of a long time. But yeah, it's good you found something new you're good at. One thing as well I wanted to ask you about was that the last time I talked to you, then you were real upset because Andy Dick had just moved in and it had been problematic and you'd had to ask him to leave and all this. And then about a week and a half ago, you did like a lovely new song about Andy. And I wondered what had happened to kind of change your mind, because not that you were negative about it, but you were kind of like, look, I'm done with it. He can go do his thing, but I'm not going to be a part of it anymore. And then you wrote a nice tribute song to him. So I wondered what happened in your head to change your mind.
Well, I just have mixed feelings about Andy. I love, that he shouted out Kermit and Friends on that podcast. I do think he feels like he looks at me in a very high regard and that he wants me to do well. The other day, he gave me this painting, right? This painting.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, he felt really bad because I'd been paying for a lot of his meals. So he gave me this painting. He said, Elisa, this painting is worth $50,000. I'm going to give you this painting.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Exactly. Wow. Like, Jesse, are you familiar with this painting that Andy gave me?
Yeah, Aldo Longo.
Exactly.
The artist. Yeah.
So Aldo Longo made this painting in 1969. It's signed by that artist, and Andy gave it to me, and he wanted me to sell it because he cares.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I'm having a problem selling it, but if anybody wants
already?
Yeah. I'm having a problem selling it. But, however, Andy said it's worth $50,000, and it was once viewed by Andy. Keep that in mind.
Somewhere in that neighborhood, I think. I looked it up.
Yes. So I have this painting in my apartment. I know that's crazy. And then, Melinda Gates, right? She got divorced from, Bill Gates. Okay. And when she left that relationship, she got millions, if not billions of dollars. She got homes, vehicles, businesses, just everything, right? But with Andy, we broke up today. He left this little box in my apartment. Okay. And then, so if we broke up, I would have this condom, token platinum OG extra loud protection for like the noisy condom. Okay. I have this Brazilian bum cream. This is half used. I opened it. Dental floss, a lot of dental floss. So me and Melinda Gates, we actually have some keys to unknown apartments, some Q-tips. So, Melinda Gates, she has it good, but I also have it good too. So, he left that. And then he left this backpack. And in the backpack, I look through the whole thing just to look for things that were maybe worth something. Boxer briefs from Ross, $9.99. It sells a tag on it, so I could return it and maybe get the cash. So if we broke up, which I don't think we will, I mean, even though I haven't heard from him since that Pimps podcast, I think we're pretty much still together. Okay, so let's see what else we have here today. We have so many guests lined up. Let's just talk to Sharman Smith. Sharman, Melinda Gates, would you say that you're jealous of Melinda Gates? I would say I'm jealous.
Right? She walked away with billions and she doesn't have to put up with Mr. Microsoft anymore.
It's crazy. And, you think about it and like, what a great life. I would just say go for pool boy after pool boy after pool boy after that.
I mean, really, what else? I mean, the opportunities are limitless for her, really.
Yeah. What would you do exactly?
Bezos' ex-wife. What would I do with billions of dollars and unlimited free time and pretty much any boy I want? What wouldn't I do?
I can imagine it. Like, I think about those women and just
think
the
of all
happiness
the songs you could write.
Oh,
think of the songs. Think of the music videos. I mean, content for hours and days. I kind of want you to have those opportunities so that we can all watch it and live vicariously through you.
Well, I would share it.
Congratulations on your first stand-up comedy. We all think you're hilarious. Now everybody else does too.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just so surprised and thrilled by that. And the fact that I was paid for it, I think was the most striking part of it. Like,
definitely better than getting into the mortgage industry.
Yeah. No,
people are alcoholics, so you might as well drink and have fun and get paid more. Good for you.
No, I went into this office, this very fancy office, in Beverly Hills, and it was a mortgage banking office. All these bankers, the top bankers in the industry. I walked in there, and it was so quiet, and there was no laughing, and it didn't seem like anyone was drunk or having fun. And I thought, God, is this going to be me? Is this going to be me? Because, you have to like make that choice at some point, like what's going to be me for the rest of my life? Like, am I going to be am I this kind of person? Because sometimes I get confused on what kind of person I am. But when I walk into a place like that and I look at myself and I look at the other people there, I say, I don't think so.
No, you're really selling it too. Like, I don't think anybody wants to go work for a bank now after that pitch. It's really not enjoyable. It's not a fun place. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of long hours, a lot of cranky people. Money makes people a little crazy.
Yeah.
If you can find a way to get paid hundreds of dollars an hour to tell jokes and make people laugh and drink and have fun, sign me up. Good for you.
Well, it's weird. Andy actually offered for me to open for him. And at the time I was like, Andy, I can't do that. I'm not a stand-up comedian, but now I think you can be, like, very easily.
I think you should at least give it a try. Your Lucy Desi thing could be a whole road show. Opportunity. Yeah, I think you should at least give it a try.
I'm definitely going to. I'm definitely going to, because I'm telling you, I went on a few job interviews. It was the one mortgage banking, the one spa thing, and then like health insurance, just basically like a lot of sales jobs, because I am good at sales. But I'll tell you, I had so much fun preparing for that show and telling people about it and the whole best of thing. And, meeting this guy, Victor, and all the other fun people from there. And I was even being
fences.
Yeah, I was even being heckled a little bit. There were hecklers on that show, right? I wonder how Victor deals with that. Victor, how do you deal with the hecklers? Because I think one lesbian heckled me. Who was that? Her name was Allison, I think. You know her?
She's not a lesbian. She has that militant haircut. I don't know why. She was very, not to sound like an asshole, she was very, very a lot hotter. And then she cut her hair, and I was like, who's this dude? Anyway.
Well, why would she do that? Why would women don't do that? Why do you do it? Don't cut your hair.
She's mad at her husband. But anyway, to get see, you're not a bad person. So no, my point being, no, hecklers, this is how you deal with them. You ignore them, or you beat the fuck out of them with words. Like, you literally use the same words they said to you back in a witty way, and everyone thinks you're brilliant. Because they're like, oh my God, you're so quick-witted. But it's not easy. But I'm going to tell you something. You're going to have it easier than a lot of people because of the stern. People like you. You're likable. It's easy for you. It's not easy. You do it easily. There's a huge difference. And what I'm telling you is the truth. Comedy's fucking hard. I'm a fat fuck with tits. I'm not a hot chick from the Stern Show. You could get on any gig you want. And I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything. It's just the truth. Like, but you got everyone's attention. You're likable. You're nice. You presented yourself in a way that, like, hey, who's this person? And you did that naturally without anyone telling you. You were just you. And that's why you're like, comedy's easy. And I'm like, no, it's not. You made it look easy and people liked you. There was a big difference, though. But that's what it is, though. But you were just a natural. And yeah, so I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just trying to keep it very real because comedy is very hard. And if you can open for Andy, you open for Andy and you ask for a lot more than $100 per show.
No, I will. I will. I just can't believe that this happened because I'm telling you, Victor, I had the worst week with all those job interviews. I was just miserable. I was so just shocked about everything. I was just shocked at what they're paying people now. The jobs that I went for that were higher position jobs that were paying so low, I was getting so defeated and sad about that. Do you have to have a side job? Like, do you do a side job besides comedy?
My job got canceled due to the pandemic. I was a substitute teacher, if you could believe it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so my life is fucking terrible and I want to kill myself. But I get a lot of material from my gigs doing stand-up. Every time I have a shitty day, I'm like, oh, cool. I have a new 2 minutes of stand-up material. And
yeah, like when things are going bad, it's actually good for comedy, I think.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes you want to get involved with chaos just so you can have new things to talk about. And I don't do that deliberately, but like sometimes I'll make a scene at a deli or a donut shop. And of course, my fat friends will watch me and be like, dude, you're a fucking psycho. But I mean, then you can talk about it on stage and people are like, oh, he's making that up. And he didn't make it up. Any wacky adventures you've been on, like it's just people appreciate just the stories. Right now, the big thing is stories. Like in the 80s, set up, punchline. Now it's just stories. Tell stories, but remember to say something funny every 5 seconds or say it in a way that is funny. But like, dude, you killed it last night. You were like a total natural. And I was like, dude, she's never done comedy before. I have no, and I told the guys, and I'll tell you, I was like, I think it's going to be a terrible fucking show. And to be honest with you,
you did? Why did you think that? Because I'm not a comedian?
Because you're not a comedian. And we're overpaying you for somebody fucking doing comedy the first time. And I'm just like, guys, we're going to lose money. It's going to be bad. And like, and dude, we did it. It was cool. We made our money back. It was fine. But like,
Victor, I gotta ask you, wait, are you the person that booked me? Because I didn't even have anybody's name. Who was that?
Vahe booked you, but we call him Dolphin Teeth because I'm an asshole. But but he booked it. And originally, you were right. We were trying to get Andy. I wasn't trying to get Andy. I don't book no one. I only book one person, and that was Pablo Francisco because I've opened for him before, and I have a cell phone. But I didn't try to get Andy. Vahe tried to get Andy, and then Andy, he offered him that money, and Andy's like, "That's not enough. This is disrespectful. Call me back when you have a respectful amount. Good day." And he hung up on it.
Can you say the amount that it was? I'm just curious.
I mean, you really shouldn't talk about it though.
Oh, okay.
Like even the amount you got paid is very underpaid because you didn't do an hour of stand-up. You were on the Zoom for an hour, but you did like at least 12 minutes of stand-up. And the rest was Q&A, and you were funny during the Q&A, and you were natural during the stand-up and the Q&A.
No, but can you guys book me again for more? Because I can actually, now I realize I can do If you give me a week, I can write probably 2 hours because it was easier than I thought.
Okay, so you're gonna have to talk to Vahe about that, and because I don't book it. Like I said, if I opened for you in the past, dude, I have suggested a billion headliners, and they're like, "Oh, you could get Pablo," and I'm like, "Yeah," and that was the one headliner we went with, and he bailed one time, and then he showed up for the Cinco de Mayo, and we had like 180 people there on a Wednesday. This past Cinco de Mayo. So that's a lot of people.
So Doug Stanhope, who are the biggest comedians that you've booked?
Okay, so us as Best of SF, we've had Doug Stanhope, Pablo Francisco, Greg Proops, what's his name? Harlan was from Half Baked, Harlan Williams. We've had who else do we have? God, I'm forgetting somebody. Oh my God, but Doug Stanhope, he went off on Bill Maher. He went off for like 2 minutes straight.
Oh, really?
It was the funniest fucking thing. I was like, yeah, so Bill Maher, and he went off on a 2 minute tirade. I'm like, hey, Doug, I didn't finish my question. Like, I just had to interrupt him. It was a really good time. We had the wrestler Diamond Dallas Page on most recently. He was fun. We asked him if he ever got a boner wrestling. It was a good time. It's a comedy podcast, and you killed it. And also, yeah, you dealt with these assholes that called in and who are a lot nicer at your show than they were at Best of SF.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I'm used to dealing with assholes. I only date assholes like exclusively, so that's like no problem at all. But only like in America can you get paid like $100 an hour for stand-up on a Sunday, and then get paid $9 an hour for a Fortune 500 company on a Monday. I mean, really, only in this country. Let's hear another song from Tyler Hutton. Welcome back.
Hey. All right, I'm doing another original one.
Guess I was hoping that things would be different, but you wouldn't do this to me. Now I can see I was wrong. Come to expect this, but that was before you. Don't wanna argue and child, 'cause I take the fun of it out. You're breaking me down, love, breaking hearts all around, love. I won't make a sound, love, if you reach for the door. Oh, oh. If you stop watching movies, paid attention to people, how can you love someone else when you can't exist as yourself? Oh, how you disappoint me. You're so damn caught up in a life you don't know. breaking hearts all around love. I won't make a sound, love, if you reach for the door. Oh, oh, guess I was open. Oh, guess I was open.
I have to apologize. I think my low E string is a little bit out of tune. So thank you guys for listening.
Hold on 1 second, Tyler. Just hold on. I'm just getting a call. Just 1 second. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hey, Elisa. Hey, is this your, like, you would ask, we were going to chat about your live stream?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm actually live on Kermit and Friends. Do you want to come on there?
Let me hold off on that. I'm not in a good area for that, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay, can I call you after the show?
Yep, perfect. Yep, just call me after.
Okay, I can call you right after. I promise.
Okay.
All right, looking forward to it. Okay, what a great guy. This is a great guy that I met. So I went on another live stream. This is a very nice guy who I thought was someone else. I went on another live stream where they were talking about how to make a show on StreamYard. And I went on there and I asked this guy a bunch of questions. He's really smart. So he's going to help us with our show. So this is going to be very good. We're getting help. See, we need help. So if you can offer any kind of help, we need it. Speaking of help, hey, Eric.
Hi, Lisa. It's great to see you. You're looking great. Congratulations on your new career as a comedian. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sure.
Sure. So, what if you were making $300 an hour, working 60 hours a week as a comedian?
I would love that. I would love that. I enjoyed my 1 hour. I enjoyed that.
And what was one of the big jokes that you told up there that was a showstopper?
Do you want to see my jokes? See,
I would love to.
So one thing about the show, Eric, that I made a mistake. So on Zoom, I don't know if how much you know about Zoom, but on Zoom you could Photoshop yourself. Okay, you could Photoshop yourself on Zoom. So I Photoshopped myself too much, so it made me like super blurry and like it looked not good. So just ignore that part and just listen to the jokes.
Sure.
And so Gaia Pie made me this video. It's like the best of my stand-up. So you'll tell me what you think of it. But yeah, I'm super
like a young Audrey Hepburn.
Like a blurry Audrey Hepburn. Yeah, here it is. Let's see. Best of by Gaia Pie. Let me put that up here. Okay.
Please make it real loud for Elisa Jordana. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Adorable. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Everybody is laughing so hard. I love that. It's amazing. And it's just like, I'm just so impressed with how you got this amazing audience when the country is open right now. Do you guys know that the country is open and that you don't have to be here watching me? And do you know that I'm not a comedian at all? So this is the.
You know,
I'm sorry.
Do you know she's not a
Really
comedian at all?
embarrassing. No, but the good-looking guy always goes after the fat guy, and you know what? That's why I believe in actually sucking fat dick. Because
God bless you.
Yeah, I
God bless
believe in
you.
it.
I'm sorry.
No. Fat
I
dick.
believe
her. No, fat dick does matter, right, Fonzie? It does.
Wait, what's the fattest fucking dude's dick you ever sucked? Who weighed the most?
The
Who weighed
fattest
the
one you
most?
can imagine, sir. So you are married. How is your marriage going right now? You're here, so.
Well, no, I mean like, it's going great. You know, we fuck like elephants.
Yeah. Is she an elephant too?
She's an elephant, yes. That'd be fucked up if she was skinny and I say I fuck her like an elephant. I mean, if I fucked you and I described fucking you as an elephant, you'd be very offended because you're not.
Yeah.
But you could say you fucked an elephant.
Yeah, no, I fucked a couple.
How do you fuck an elephant? One fuck at a time.
No, because they're supposed to appreciate you more. That's the thing. The good thing about fucking a guy that's overweight is they appreciate you more. If you fuck a hot guy, they do not care. They don't care about you. They don't appreciate you. I mean, I don't think there's any hot guys here tonight, but if there were, they would say.
Except Victor.
Yeah, let's hear you sing a song.
What was that guy's name that was just talking to me, the Asian guy?
Billy.
Billy, I'm in love with you. Billy. I love how you don't talk to me. Billy. You look like you're 16. You are my dream. You're not even looking at me at all, Billy. Billy, if you Googled me, Elisa Jordana, please, Billy, you'd be impressed. Billy, if you just look at me once, I will show you my breasts. Billy, look over. You don't even care, Billy. Billy, you're gay like my fiance Andy. I think. Billy. Seriously, Billy, what the hell's going on? I know, but why do you want to send her a dick pic? What is the purpose of that? That's his.
No, so we can exchange pictures, not just.
No, but to get her to exchange pictures, you do not send her a picture of your dick. Send your picture of your dick to my fiance. He'll appreciate it. That girl will not appreciate it. I'm telling you, she will hate it. She will despise it. She doesn't want it. No woman wants a dick pic. I promise you that. I promise. Show her a picture of your wallet, your home, your car, whatever you want. But just anything but a dick. Anything but a dick. I'm getting a caller. Oh my gosh, I have a caller. Hold on one second, Dave. Kermit and Brent. I mean, not Kermit and Brent. What's the show called? San Francisco. I'm really sorry, Eric. That
I like that.
Oh, you did? Yeah. So so it was cool because you could hear the people laughing. They actually were laughing.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I couldn't believe it. And I thought, is it that? Because I hardly laugh at anything. I usually don't laugh at anything, actually. And these people were laughing. So I thought, wow, it took me an hour. It took me about an hour to write that. So if you guys want to watch the whole thing or listen to the whole thing, it's Best of SF standup.com. Yep.
Do you feel like it was a good return on your investment for that 1 hour? And you would make it again?
Finally, yes. Wow. I didn't get a good return on investment for anything else. And for that, I did feel like I did, Eric. That's a really good question. Yeah, so not only did I enjoy the process of writing the jokes, but the process, just the whole process, like Brandon delivering, my neighbor Brandon, Kermitarian of the Week, for delivering this Don Julio to me.
How did you two even drink a full bottle of Don Julio together? That's got to be like 8 shots apiece.
Because I was doing stand-up comedy. I was desperate. I was very desperate to be drunk. Yeah. And because of that, I don't even drink that much, but I just felt that I just felt very nervous. And I just realized now something about life. It's like, don't try to do too much. I think what I was trying to do before, like I tried too hard at things and I tried and I'm nothing, right? This gig, I didn't even try to get it. I felt like I was booked by accident. They wanted to pay me more. I had them pay me less. I'm like, I'm going to stop talking in general, probably to these people. I'm just going to not try. Even, I was at the grocery store the other day and I couldn't get, I was trying to get some fruit and I was trying to get like the plastic bag separated. You know how hard that is sometimes? I just gave up. I walked out. That's me from now on. If I can't do something, I'm just getting up and walking out and I'm not trying and see how that goes. Right, Sugar? What do you think about that?
I was typing a comment that this happened because of all the trying that you did in the past. This happened because of the work you did when you were trying and trying and trying. This is just the payoff. So all that hard work was part of this. If you hadn't done all that stuff, you hadn't written for Howard, if you hadn't done all those things that made you known as part of the Stern Show universe, then that $300 wouldn't have come about. So it wasn't about not trying.
Oh, so maybe that's the lesson, right? is that sometimes you try for things and they don't pay off directly, but if you keep putting energy into it, it has to come back in some way, even if it's not directly.
That's been my experience. You know, that things that I put hard work into like 10 years ago and seemed to go nowhere, like 10 years later, those contacts, somebody remembered you, or that work still exists and now it's valuable. That's just been my experience, is like you think, oh, I did all this hard work and nothing came from it, but you don't know yet because it might pay off later, you know, like a stock, like buying Bitcoin.
Gosh, sometimes you just wish that you knew like what you're supposed to do or how it's going to happen or who you're supposed to talk to. And I think so hard about those things. I think, oh, should I be hanging out with this person? You know, they're not where I want to be. Or should I be with this person? They're fucked up, you know? And then I think so hard and I confuse myself and I'm like, oh man, should I be doing this? It could be embarrassing. That's a big one for me because I could be really embarrassed. I've been embarrassed before, but it has paid off. Even when I auditioned for Tommy Mottola on Stern, and it was really embarrassing.
They made me so mad oh, they made me mad. That was when I reached out to you because I was like, this isn't cool.
But look at that. Look at that. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't know you. And I wouldn't be exposed to something like this. John.
Hey, move over, Sarah Silverman. You're a stitch. You've got every fat guy that was watching that show with a major chubby and having a hard time walking. Just you talking like that. You are you're a gorgeous lady, and just even the thought of something like that, you know. They muted me out. I appreciate the shout out when you said I have my own DJ with me. I appreciate that shout out to me out there. But I was just, you're fucking funny, kid.
Thank you. I was so happy that you were there, John. I was like, is anybody good? At first I was thinking, oh, I should not invite anybody to this. I don't want anybody to see this. But then once I was getting some laughs, I was like, I wish I invited everybody to this.
Well, they muted my mic, so you couldn't hear a lot of my laughter and stuff. So I guess I was making too much noise for them. I turned everything down and stuff, you know, but I was just
what's up with that, Victor? What's up with that? Because Johnny...
Hey, listen, we never mute anyone who's laughing. We mute people who are like, hey, honey, the pizza's on the table. And that wasn't you, but we've had like people have sounds come in. Like, and if you're on stage and you hear this, you have your headphones on, you hear people breathing very loud at times, or their oxygen tanks if they're too close to the microphone.
Well, I wasn't trying to, but I was.
I didn't mute you. I didn't mute you. I didn't mute.
I tried to unmute my stuff, and it wouldn't let me unmute myself. That one comedian was on there. The first guy. Was that you, the first one?
No.
I can't think of the guy. I don't know. He was quite funny.
That was Mean Dave. His name was Mean Dave. I was scared of that guy. But he wasn't even mean. Like, I didn't understand that. Then he said he was Meaningful Dave, but his name was Mean
just
Dave.
Have strange nicknames, you know. But it was you broke him up, kid. I'm so proud to be your friend and to see what you did.
Thanks, John.
You've come a long way, kid.
You know, John, I gotta be honest with you. When you were there, I felt so happy. And that is not like a fake feeling or anything I'm saying that's, not real. When I saw you there, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm home. That's how I felt. Kermit and Friends.
Hi, Lisa. How are you? It's Barry again.
Barry. Barry was another person that was there for me on that show. Barry, my family, this is my family here. And Barry was on the Best of San Francisco Comedy. So it's nice when you're scared of something to see a familiar face. Yes, Barry, what are you calling about, sweetheart?
So I left a message for you in Kermit and Friends chat. Check it when you get a moment. I don't want to bring it up live in the show.
Okay.
But there's an issue with one of the people involved in your show who spread some very anti-Semitic and anti-Israel and death to Israel remarks the other night in Leia's room on the voice chat. And it's creating a concern for me. And she brought in some other Palestinian whack job who was involved in this voice chat. Johnny B knows who it is. So I'll just leave it at that. I think you should have a talk with her and to mind her mouth. And if she can't, just boot her from Kermit and Friends, because you're Jewish, Elisa, like I am. And it's very, very bad for somebody to spread a hate crime and basically say death to Israel, death to Jews, just because of over a conflict happening half the world away, and anti-Semitism is rising in the United States big time. And quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of it. And I think you are too. And so is every other Jewish person in this country, as well as non-Jew that's a Christian, and even in a lot of cases, Muslims that are not radicalized, So, just wanted to bring that up to you, okay? So check it when you get a moment. It's public in the chat, but you need to check into it, okay? Okay. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Hey, Victor, what's up, man? Hope you're well. Nice seeing you yesterday. Had a lot of fun with you on the show. So, anyways, just want to tell you that, Elisa, and do this more often with these comedy nights. You were really funny last night, okay?
All right.
Get you.
All right. Now here's another song from Tyler Hutton.
Okay. I'm going to do a weird cover here.
Wichita, talking around, Warnica, hey, nay, no. Wichita, talking around, Warnica, hey, nay, no. Water spirit feeling spinning around my head. Makes me feel glad that I'm not dead. Wichita, talking around, Warnica, hey, nay, no. Wichita, talking around, Warnica, hey, nay, no. Water spirit feeling slipping around my head. Makes me feel glad that I'm not dead. This little Jim Peppers cover.
Amazing. Okay, now Lori had a thought, a very long thought. I'm going to read it to you guys. Lori said, being against the Israeli government and the IDF is not anti-Semitic. I'm against Zionism, is that how you say? Which is a modern day Nazi movement trying to ethically cleanse Palestinians from their holy land. I never said death to Jews. I said I'd like to see Israel burn. He is delusional. Oh, he's talking about you?
Yeah.
Oh, Barry wanted you banned from...
Yeah, he said he's going to call the FBI on me if you don't take me off the show. And I'm going to be raided, which I deal with borderline personality disorder. And this has been something that was threatened to me when I first became Muslim, is that they were going to call the FBI on me just for becoming Muslim. And I deal with paranoia really bad and a lot of like delusional things in my head to begin with. I have dissociative symptoms and stuff. And it freaks me out when people say this shit and try to accuse me of saying things that I didn't do or whatever. Yeah. Like, I will admit to part of what he said, but I'm not going to admit to all of it because he's trying to frame me to have been saying something worse than what I said. I stand with the Palestinians and I stand with Palestine. He said my boyfriend is Palestinian. No, he's Yemeni. He said that he knew people who used to be over there who worked with Hamas, but he was not part of Hamas.
Hey, Lori,
and I think Hamas is like a freedom fighter situation. That's how I view it. And the U.S. government freaking funds freedom fighter things like this all the time, but they also fund Israel, which is a terrorist organization. I think the IDF is a terrorist organization way more than Hamas. And if this delusional schizophrenic nut is going to call the FBI on me, I'll be sure to live stream when I'm being fucking raided by the FBI. I'll be sure to live stream when I'm being swatted. Because I want there to be as many fucking witnesses to this shit as possible. If I go to jail, it's for supporting Palestine. I don't fucking care.
Lori, can I stop you for a second right there? I agree with you 100%. 1,000,000%. I think that, what's his name? Barry, he's got his own deep-seated issues.
He told me that he's a fucking Mossad agent. That's what he fucking told me. Yeah, and that he puts hits on people.
Nothing to do with you, obviously. And obviously, our relationship with the FBI is pretty straightforward. The FBI is a financial entity, just like any other financial entity. They borrow communications, they give communications. Everything's good.
I post the evidence against the IDF on my Twitter every single day. I retweet shit that is in support of Palestine every single day, nonstop, all day. I've proven what the IDF is. You just look at my Twitter feed. So if he wants to sit here and act like this shit doesn't fucking happen, it happens all the fucking time.
So don't worry about them. They're like when you go to the bank, how there's a guard in the bank.
He's a fucking Mossad agent. He's admitted it. He's a fucking bullshit. And he said that he put assassination hits on people.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
I'm paranoid now.
People are entitled to whatever they're entitled to. Your bank with your guard in front of it in your local FBI is the same as anywhere else in the world. But in terms of what's going on right now, I mean, which side do you think is right? Do you think the Muslim side is right, or do you think the Israeli government is right? They're both kind of...
It's not about religion.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because Palestinian Jews and Palestinian Christians are being persecuted by the IDF just for being Palestinian. It's not about religion.
So you think it's about persecution?
It's about the Zionists that think they're the real Jews, wanting to take over Israel when really they're just all European.
And do you feel like in the end
The Palestinian people are more genetically related to the original Bani Israel, the children of Israel, than the Zionists that are coming into Israel and establishing this Israeli government and forcing these people out of their homes.
So that's not right to force them out of their homes, is it?
There's literally a video of this guy from Brooklyn coming in, and he's like trying to steal this like Palestinian family's home, and they're like telling him to stop, telling him to go away, and he's like, well, if I don't do it, somebody else will. Like, what the fuck?
So,
what is your justification for that? Like, if I don't steal your home, somebody else will? Like, how would you feel if somebody walked into your home and said, oh, this is my home now, you have to leave? If I don't steal your home, somebody else will. Eric, wouldn't you be upset if somebody did that to you?
Yeah, intellectual property rights, sometimes they get me, a little bit, like I write scripts, so if somebody wanted to steal a script and rewrite it into something, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. But what do you think about this, Victor?
I mean, that's terrible. I'm listening to this. My heart's going out. Would I want that? Nobody wants that. I saw recently a video of some missile taking out a house on Instagram. Somebody posted it. It's free to see. It's free to the world. It sucks. I was in the Committee for Justice in Palestine at University of California in Santa Cruz before I graduated in 2007. And, these are my homies. And I didn't want their families getting murdered just because of religious beliefs or genocide, or whatever the case may be. I mean, for fuck's sake, we just barely recognize the Armenian genocide. It doesn't exist to people. It's too inconvenient. You talking about it and us right now getting on the FBI's fucking interest because we're talking about it civilizedly and how it affects people. It's just fucked up because it's like, I can't make it funny. Right. But I'm like laughing my ass off because I'm high as shit and I'm just like, oh my God, man, like this is terrible. And then
the thing with Barry is he's very much in the Zionist mindset, and he gets very emotional, and he got emotional, and he started conflating things in his mind. And I told him, dude, you're fucking delusional, you're schizophrenic, you need to take your meds, you need to go back to the hospital or something. Like, you need to get this sorted out up here.
Now, Lori, I have a question for you.
You're not listening to what I'm trying to say, Barry. Like, you're just putting your emotions into it.
The question I have for you, Lori, is let's say, God forbid, we end up in a world somehow where people start living a lot longer, just for some reason. Maybe it has to do with corruption being kind of in quantum theory. But let's say we end up in a world where, Israel is the place to be if you're going to live to like 1,000. How could you see the Muslims and the Jews coming together in that universe?
They'd be fighting over it, no
Yeah,
matter what.
I don't
Because
see that happening.
whatever.
Right? At this point, I don't see that happening. Do you see it happening? I don't see it happening.
You don't see it happening, Charmin?
There's so much hostility and anger between everybody at this point in time.
Yeah,
I would like to see it happen. I'd like to see people stop blowing each other up and stop hurting each other and treat each other with some sort of dignity. And
honestly, if you just want to see the truth about Israel-Palestine, go on your Snapchat, go to the Snap map, tap on Tel Aviv, and then tap on Gaza and see the difference. Everybody in Tel Aviv is having like a wonderful time, like beautiful life, and then you tap on Gaza and everything's destroyed and there's children dying, and the average like age in Gaza is 18. That tells you how young these people are.
Now, Lori, do you think, kind of moving forward here, do you think if Elisa ever found the right guy who was like the perfect guy for her in a perfect world, that could make a difference?
There's no relation, Eric. You're trying to insert yourself in this. I know you are.
No, I'm just trying to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. You know, like let's say she became like Madonna. You know, she went and played world tours, and she could play a big tour in Gaza. You know, at the West Wall, let's say. I know one of the big conflicts is they want to go to the Temple of Muhammad, but it's sitting there where the Holy Temple was, and they can't get there. So it's like a structural issue.
They should be allowed to go there at any time, but apparently they need a permit to, like, in the walls, that there's huge walls in both Gaza and the West Bank, and these walls aren't even where the official borders are. They're like 10 miles past those borders, and people can't even like go visit their family on the other side of the wall without a fucking permit, and they're still in that area where they're supposed to be. There's way too many, like, it's like there's check stops everywhere, and they get harassed by the IDF. Like, I've seen people like share their stories of why the hell they got out of Palestine, because they couldn't see themselves like that anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But
So
like at like the check
wait.
stops when they've gone back to visit, like the IDF has like pointed their guns at a fucking like 6-year-old's head for no reason, just to taunt the family, say, hey, I could do this if I wanted to. Fear us. We have control here.
I'm getting a call. Everybody just relax for 1 second. Just getting a little call. Kermit, Kermit and friends. Kermit and friends.
Hey, Lisa, it's Barry, and I'm calling to tell Lori to set her straight that I'm not delusional, and even the state hospital said so. And I went through a heavy risk assessment procedures, and I'm not schizophrenic. I'm actually just bipolar with highs and lows of mania. Okay, and I don't suffer from delusions. And the other thing is, I don't directly work for the Mossad, as I explained in chat. I work for the Greater Miami Jewish Federation Community Security Team. But we work with Mossad as well as other entities around the world. And second of all, I was fucking with her head because she said that Israel should burn to the ground when I said that, I placed assassins on people like in the Middle East and stuff. That was just fucking with her head. It's like I do that shit to people who are anti-Semites. It's like I fuck with their heads big time. I fuck with a federal officer's head big time in the feds. Yeah, you know what happened to him?
I don't think anyone's paying him a wage. Let's just be clear about that.
And died on the way home from work. I annoyed him so bad. Yeah, I didn't kill him. I didn't do anything. I just fucked with his head. So
that's good.
So, you know, but because he was an asshole and he was just like really rude towards people with bipolar disorder or other mental illnesses, you know, and I understand Lori suffers from mental illness, but it does not give her an excuse to spread hate and say Israel should burn to the ground, okay? And she did say that death upon the Jews, okay? So, bottom line, she said death to the Jews and Israel should burn to the ground. She said it the other night in Leia's chat. So, I mean, everyone was there and heard it. And then it also is screaming at her and her Yemenese friend that goes to Gaza in the past. He said he's been there. But
no,
like, I don't
he knew people from there.
But he said he has been there.
He knew people
Hamas,
from there.
Okay? Hamas is a deemed worldwide terrorist organization. They're supported by the Islamic regime of Iran. Okay? Anybody that supports Hamas or Hezbollah or any of these groups, Al Qaeda, any shit like that, okay, or even CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations, was founded as the American arm of Hamas, okay? It's just that illegally in the United States to spread anti-Semitism and hatred towards Jews, and it's disgusting. I wish Trump would have banished them and declared them a terrorist organization. He was that close, okay? Because they were founded by the same people that founded Hamas that are hiding in Qatar, okay? In Qatar, okay? So, bottom line, okay? So, Lori needs to learn her facts. I've also posted in the chat room where I posted under Leia's chat facts about how the Palestinians are not indigenous to Israel. They're indigenous to Jordan, Egypt, and they came to Israel in year 1000 AD.
All right, Barry, just go on the wrap-up show and discuss all. This is too long.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I know my shit when it comes to history, okay, about the Israeli conflict, okay? And I'm just saying facts. And I don't wish death upon anybody, just to be clear. But Lori wishes death upon the Jews and says Israel should burn to the ground.
I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna ask her if she said that. Okay, call back. Bye, Barry.
No,
That's too much. Too much. Too long.
I didn't say it on air. She admitted to it. Okay, bye.
Lori, did you say death to the Jews?
I said burn Israel, but I didn't say death to the Jews. But I do have borderline personality disorder, and it causes me to be forgetful. So maybe if he can produce a recording of me saying that from that voice call, then maybe I'll admit to it. But I did not say that.
I'm sure you're sorry anyway. I'm sure you're very sorry. She's sorry, guys. She's sorry. Okay. DJ Smooth was supposed to read a speech last night on the best of comedy in San Francisco, but he fell asleep. Is that right, Smooth?
I just think the only bombs being dropped over the Middle East should be N bombs from people singing Pac and Biggie together. That's all I've got to say.
Okay, this guy, he was supposed to say a speech yesterday. He was supposed to say it today. All right, Smooth, fine. You want to be like that? That's fine. Okay, I think we learned a lot today from this show. I'm going to leave you with a song from John Bolton, a nice, happy song. I just appreciate everybody for contributing here. Even Dr. Roy Alabado, who was on a windy beach, he showed up. Just appreciate everybody's kind thoughts here, everybody's contribution. If you have friends that you think would be good on Kermit and Friends, please bring them in. We love new people here, and we just love to have fun. Johnny B, you have a song for us, buddy? You're muted, Johnny B.
Get to the thing. Yep. I'm sorry.
Great.
I knew I was. I just noticed that. Of course, I kind of knew I was, so I didn't. Where's Sugar at? Or Sugar? Charmin at? Didn't get to say hello to her. Well, I was kind of dedicating this to you, girl.
Oh, lucky me. Hey, how you doing?
A little bit of Elton John. It's called Your Song. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. Don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I were skillful, but then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. No, it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody, oh, this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, that I put down in one. How wonderful life is while you're in the world. Sat on the roof, kicked off the moss with a few of the verses. Well, they got me quite lost, but the sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song for people like you that or keep it turned on. So excuse me for forgetting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody, oh, this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind when I put it down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. All my Man Cave Live fans out there, not much time to mention everybody's name, but thank you for being out here. Thank you, Kermit and friends, for allowing me to be part of the show. And my Man Cave fans out there, every one of you, you know who you are. Hello. We'll see you tonight on the Man Cave Live.